Take me through the day of September 11th, 2001, as you experienced it, as you lived it.
September 11th, 2001. It was a bright, beautiful, sunny Tuesday morning. I left my house about 6:30 in the morning, and my 4.5-year-old daughter said to me, "Daddy, which truck are you driving today? The fire truck, the oil truck, or the boar's head truck?" Because I had 3 jobs at the time. I told her I was going on an oil truck that day. So she said, "You should be safe today, Daddy." Most New York City firefighters and police officers, EMS, we don't make the most amount of money. So in order to live in that city, you have to hustle. So I took the truck, started my route, and plane hit the tower. So I just literally stopped the truck and looked out, and I saw the smoke. If you're off duty, normally you do not go to a scene. They don't want you to because of accountability and safety. The on-duty platoon will handle it. A few minutes later, the second plane hit, and I knew immediately. I'm like, okay, we're under attack. So I just flew the truck back in. I told my boss, I have to go. He understood. He knew something was way wrong, and I went to the firehouse. And I got on the phone, and I called the 40th Battalion, and Chief's aide just said, "Look, get 12 guys, sign them in." And as the guys came in, I logged them in, and we got a city bus. We flagged it down, and the bus driver said, "I'm sorry, I can't give you the bus. I will drive you." Just prior to getting on the bus, the first tower went down. The second tower hit was the first one to go down. My lieutenant, Dennis Oberg. They were heading over to go in it, and all of a sudden he looked up and he saw like what he thought to be disintegration, and he turned the guys around. He said, "Run, just run, don't look back, don't look up, go." They sprinted as fast as they could, and they dove under a fire truck. And the guys that were sprinting behind them 40 feet away were underneath a pile that was 10 stories deep. They were killed. And just further into that pile was his rookie son, Dennis's rookie son, who was working at Ladder 105. And just beside them was my childhood best friend, John Shard, and his crew from 201. And they were all killed. So we got off the bus, but just prior to that, coming over the bridge, the second tower is gone now. And we're just destroyed because we're like, our guys are there, they're all in there. All the police officers, Port Authority police, NYPD police, court officers just up the street from the courts, transit cops from the train tunnels, we knew everybody was going, and now they're gone. It looked like a movie scene with just end of the earth destruction. It's just massive piles of intertwined steel, and there was no cement. It was all just dust. And then as we were being deployed, they were trying to take command and send us in groups now because they realized we have to start searching this. You could hear the alarms on the Scott Air mask, the packs we wear to go into the building. It has a motion alarm, and if you stop moving for 30 seconds, it just sounds like this screaming bell, it just keeps going and going. And you could hear multiple units of those going off, and you're like, wait a minute, there's guys with those, where are they? And it's emanating from underneath the pile. So there was a couple hundred guys involved in that process of bringing in equipment, jaws of life, airbags to lift steel, to cut pieces of steel. It was just a huge operation. And on that first night, we went full tilt till my specific crew of 12, 15 guys. And 4 in the morning, we just couldn't breathe anymore. We couldn't see. We were caked. It was like if you took flour and just kept dousing yourself. And what you wound up feeling like was that you swallowed a box of razor blades because there was glass and there was cement, and it was just so caustic. I remember that night, when we went back just to get some medical relief. As we're walking up the block, we're all struggling. We're all having a hard time breathing. And just remember the one guy going, "Now we're all dead." And I said, no, we made it. We made it. He goes, "No, you don't get it, kid." He said, "We just breathed in poison after poison for hours, and then that went into days, and it went into months." He says, "We're all dead, man. This is going to take us all." And I thought he was crazy. And then now years later, starting in 03, 04, guys just started coming down with these really rare and advanced cancers. And then it just stopped being a coincidence with the number of guys, and they were young. One of the first guys, John McNamara, he was 33 or 34, and he came down with colon cancer, and it took him quickly in 2000. I kind of said to, friends and family, I said, I feel like I'm running through a minefield, and I wonder when I'm going to step on my mine, because everybody's going to get sick. And I wasn't feeling well from 2008 on. And in 2011, I failed my medical. My bloods came back horrifically wrong, and they pulled me off the truck. And I found out from my team of doctors that I had about 48 hours to live. I had to get 2.5 years of chemo compressed into 7 days, or I was dead. And I was writhing in pain for 7 days. And I was praying to die. It was vicious, but it worked.
What are you hoping to tell? And all these different stories that are weaved that connect the tragedies and the triumphs, the heroism of that day and the days and the years that followed.
What I ultimately am trying to do, involved in this beautiful project, is spread the message of doing the right thing. Look at these examples, these brave people who didn't have to, especially the civilians. They weren't paid to run back in there and help person after person, and they had no obligation. They could have just said, hey man, I'm out of here, and just bolted. But they didn't. So we're just trying to say to people, let's bring back that unity and that feeling of 9/12. As strange as 9/12 of a day it was so sad, because it was the first dawn of the sun where we realized this wasn't a dream, this was real, and it's not going away. But the beauty of it was there was thousands of people lined up along the West Side Highway with signs and American flags. And they were from every country and every race and every creed. And it didn't matter who they were, but they all shared one bond: love. And they were hugging and crying and thanking rescuers. And it brought the morale so high for a group of people that was so beaten down the day before. It just started lifting the morale and making us realize, you know what? People really do give a crap. They really do love each other.